we're having this live stream right now is because it's of the utmost priority. I don't know, but we need every single person that is joining this live or is going to be seeing this video after this live stream to take this information very, very far. Please make sure you share this video, like the video during the stream, and make sure you push this information because there is a high probability that this video might be dumbed down. So I need you to play your part. You know, the Android community is not used to making this type of request, but it is because of this very, very important need that I'm telling you now that it is very important for you to communicate this information. Anyway, anyhow, you can communicate it. If 200 people can communicate it, if 1,000 people can communicate it, make sure you play your part by sharing this information massively, okay? So now, early this morning, Russian Foreign Intelligence Agency, SVR, has dropped some critical reports. Now, they are going to, based on what I was informed, what I was told, that to make sure that this information is not being shadow banned or dumbed down, that I should say this could be a disinformation campaign, or probably it could be a very, very huge intel. But regardless, I want you to hear it. Now, the important part of this information is that I want you to know about it. Probably the Alliance of Cyber Intelligence have gotten this information, but it is important that the public opinion is involved. Okay? Take this information to wherever you can take it to. It is very, very important. France is preparing neo-colonial coup in Africa, according to Sputnik Africa, via Russia Foreign Intelligence Agency. They said Macron has authorized his special services to launch a plan to eliminate unwanted leaders in Africa. This is a verified information from a verified source. Russian intelligence are capable enough. You can go ahead and check it in Sputnik Africa, okay? They said to plan to eliminate unwanted leaders in Africa according to Russian Foreign Intelligence Agency. That is the source of the information. And secondly, they gave another comprehensive, catalog of report. They say Emmanuel Macron has authorized French special services to implement a plan to eliminate unwanted leaders in Africa. Unfortunately, this is another type of information that they let go out there, like they're going to try to dumb it down. But I'm just saying, it is very, very important to me that you know. So in whatever capacity you have, you share this information. Because at the end of the day, when you find out, most of the time, there are always accomplices within, so that everybody stay on high alert. It's not the best way we can make sure this don't happen is to make it known as much as possible. So according to this, they said France's involvement in the attempted coup in Burkina Faso on January 3rd has been established. That is another big information right there. Did you get it? You know, on the Android community, we actually said something, that it wasn't just the Miba's plan to make an attempt on the life of Captain Ibrahim Traore. We made that claim, right? Man, I don't want to say too much into this information because, they might be like, oh, he's, you know what I'm saying? But I just want to take this opportunity to send this information out so that you know. The third information, they said France has shifted to directly supporting. This is according to Sputnik Africa, okay? They said France have shifted to directly supporting various types of terrorist groups, not just one, various, okay, who have become its main allies in Africa. Take this very, very importantly. Various now, not just one. According to another information that is being released, it said France is exploring ways to overthrow Madagascar's new president and restore a loyal regime. Unfortunately, they call this, what they call this type of thing, they call it fighting for your interest. But my own interest right now at this point is that you hear this information and you take it very, very importantly. Speak about it. All right? welcome by design. Welcome to the Android community. I really, really congratulate and appreciate everybody that is on this live session. But I'm begging you that you take this information out of the Android community to wherever you can take it to. Please. The next information, according to Russian Foreign Intelligence Agency, they say Macron's administration is seeking opportunities for political revenge in Africa. Paris is looking for an opportunity to sow chaos in the Central African Republic. So this is not only alliance of Sahel states, agenda. This is, you saw that Madagascar was mentioned and Central African Republic has been mentioned. So I don't know. It's so unfortunate that we live in the era where, content creators that play around informations like this are everywhere, and, critical informations like this will be dumped down. Shit. I wish I had the same amount of audience in other platforms where I can just share this information for free. But I need everyone to play their role by making sure this information, either verbally or whatever means, you take this information out of the Android community and you take it far. Please. Because at the end of the day, you might know someone that knows someone that knows someone that might try to be used. So this is just to let everybody be on high alert. They've made attempts and you've seen attempts. So like, it's very, very, I dropped an information yesterday, limited ads, and they try to dump it down. Day before yesterday, the same thing. So that's why I'm making this known now to the public opinion of the Android community, so that you know that they might not allow this information to fly. But it's very, very important that I'm letting you know. Like I said, some of us don't sleep. We are always monitoring intelligence reports so that we can give this very, very timely. The intelligence agency in the Sahel would have known this. Probably Central African Republic would have known this. Probably all Russian allies would have been aware, and they would have been locked and loaded and ready. But I'm just saying this for the public to know, because that is very, very important. Because at this point in Africa, it's no longer the authorities that are the security of the state. All of us are involved. Because in Niger, not only did they attack the Deore Amani International Air Base, they launched another chaotic attack in another region, where they neutralized over 30 civilians. The money was far and wide in the central mosque in Niamey. So, I mean, you can see what Sputnik Africa, you can see what they said over there, that France is exploring ways to overthrow Madagascar's regime, a new president in Africa to restore a loyal regime. Now, they said Macron administration is seeking opportunities for a political revenge. A political revenge in Africa. So, revenge does not, when you hear the word revenge, revenge does not distinguish between this is a civilian, this is a military industrial capability, or these are military personnel. Revenge pick everyone. Anybody that is seeking revenge is coming with spite, with so much, you know what I'm talking about. So this is just to prepare the public's mental for what is coming. It's so unfortunate that, even people in the Francophone bloc, they can't speak my kind of language, so that everybody can be even more aware. Now, the last information they gave, which I'm going to read right now, they said France is exploring ways to overthrow Madagascar's regime and new president, Nandrina Rina. Okay? They said to restore a loyal regime, Russia Foreign Intelligence Agency reports Macron administration is looking for opportunities for political revenge in Africa, according to Russian intelligence services. Now, the thing is this. I believe that, you see, the video I posted yesterday, like I told you, that where they were making protests and the farmers were protesting, they were protesting for the bad condition of the police, right? The truth is that we've not seen this before. That the police in France are not well taken care of. Welfare is at stake. The pensioners are in trouble. The farmers are complaining. All of this was not the usual thing that happens down there, right? They used to live lavish. They used to enjoy la vida lifestyle. use all type of bags, you wear all type of designer shoes and all of that. At the end of the day, right now, everybody is wearing the shoe they've worn since 2022 because the free quid is not coming again. The free bread is not coming. And for the people that don't know, you can hear what the people on the ground in the Sahel state are saying. They know. You heard the information that the guy talking about Orano, what he talked about, that they thought they were going to come and be begging them to come and help them. But that didn't happen, right? You saw what the woman in Niger said, in Naomi, what she said, if they can pursue Gaddafi for over 50 years, if you think they're going to leave you after 2 years, then you must be joking. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want us to be joking. And that is why we're bringing this information for public opinion, not just public opinion, for the public to play their own part. When I saw this information this morning, I wasn't really surprised, but man, I was like, I need to take this information out there because a lot of people have to be informed. Not everybody have my kind of mind. Some people might be, going across lives and they might see this live and they take this information as a very, very critical information. I don't know how it's going to affect them. Now, they said this information as of now, we have to either regard this as a speculation, as a disinformation campaign, or as a critical intel. Based on my own opinion, I think this is a critical intel. This is not going to be by any way something I take with a pinch of salt. Right? So that was I don't want to say too much to that effect so that they won't say he has started again, Now we are now like before they label these communities, let me proceed. But I believe that this information, I have been able to drop it very, very timely. These are breaking information. This is not one of those information that we draw. People say, "Oh, he's looking for." No, go to Sputnik Africa. You can verify. This is a normal YouTube live stream. If there was a way I would have been showing you this information, I would have, right? But I promise, when I'm making my evening video, I'm going to attach everything to it so that you can see it. Now, families, you see, the second information, right, that I think I will talk about very, very critically is the information about the preliminary report of the investigation in Burkina Faso when it comes to General Lieutenant Colonel Sandaogo Damiba, right? According to information, they said the first thing he got was his phone call record. You see, I've been hearing this rumor about his phone call record and all of that, but I did not really pay attention to it. That, probably it must have been deleted. It's smart enough to make all those moves. But now that I'm hearing that his phone record is saying a lot of things, I'm surprised. And it begs the question why a lot of people are just worried unnecessarily. If they are not an active covert player in this operation, why should anybody be worried? Why am I not worried? Right? It's just something simple. Why am I not worried? Why is somebody else that believes, according to their claim, that they have no affiliation with this operation that happened as regards to Lieutenant Damiba, why are they worried? The second thing they said encrypted data communication that has already been cracked. Now, what I think about that particular information right there was that there were probably some information that probably was, coded, right? Or probably they were hidden. There are a lot of applications that, people use on their phone and the password it, and they do a lot of things. Someone like you to move into Burkina Faso by supporting and accelerating Faso member all over the region. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm planning to move to Burkina Faso, but the problem is my partner is, my partner she's struggling heavily with me when it comes to moving to Burkina Faso. I don't care. I can go to Burkina Faso. Right? I have the strong will and mindset to go to Burkina Faso. Everywhere is better hotel for me. Right? But the problem is my partner is saying that she would prefer somewhere down south of Africa. than to go to Burkina Faso. If not, by April, I should be in Burkina Faso. And for that, I need to say a very big thank you to the Andre community. I need to say a very, very big thank you to the Andre community. You all have done a very, very fantastic job to that effect. Your support cannot be overemphasized. The Andre community has played a very huge role. Okay? So I'm using this opportunity to send our appreciation out there. It has always been about the Android community all the way. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue. According to information that said, funding that goes beyond the ones that have been communicated. I'm talking about the amount of money. We were given information that over 70 million CFA franc and all of that. But according to recent rumors now that we are getting, right, they said the funding is beyond that 70 million. So the question is, who took how much at what point? Look, don't get it twisted. I believe he must have even told them more than enough. He must have mentioned too many. That's why you see a lot of people, just arguing for their lives right now. On top of this, that Miba matter. A lot of people. So when you see different countries releasing different communique, sending this, summoning this ambassador for so country, I'm telling you, there's fire on the mountain. There's fire on the mountain. So this could actually be a clear revelation that a certain state could have could have been the mastermind behind the funding of this particular regime change operation. So that also collaborates with the information that have been released by the Russian foreign intelligence, okay? That there is a plan to launch a regime change out of vengeance. Now, the question is, why should anybody feel like anybody owes them anything? No, that's the big question right here. Because when you look at the statement right there that somebody wants to launch a regime change operation out of vengeance, like, who owes you anything? Why do you want? What's the importance of you running a regime change operation? We are not related to you. Like, what is the meaning of that statement on its own? Why should you think you have what it takes to launch a regime change operation? And why should anybody within this continent be supporting such? I don't understand. Like the anger. This live session is not a regular live session because I am angered with him. And the reason why I'm angered is that there are still some bad apples that are still going to be used in this particular, momentum that is about to shift. There is still people on the ground that they are still going to use. And a lot of people at the end of the day, when these people are being caught, they will argue that probably they don't know what they were doing. They called his wife and he called. Like, come on, man. You can do better. People run. People cross seas with a dangerous risk. Some of them cross the sea without having life jackets and all of that. They don't have it. Some of them cross over the sea from Morocco trying to get to Spain, and they get to probably all of these so-called countries, right? They want to get there. No protection, nothing. A lot of them, they end up disappearing along the sea routes. All for what? They want a good life. Because somebody dared to sell them out from within this continent. Is that even a thing? How do you feel when you think about this thing? I think a lot of people just think corruption is corruption. You think that puppet is just puppet. This is the highest level of crime anybody can commit. Okay. Now let's go to the next information, right? They talked about promises of political appointment to this individual if the coup attempt was successful. And that is where people like Officer Saurin Money and Kuli Diata comes in. Look, something you've not even gotten. They promise you, new appointment. Maybe, you are going to be the defense minister. You are going to be the chief of staff. You are going to be the... Come on, man. Now you are going to go and be the defense minister of prisoners. You're going to go to that prison and be the defense minister of those people. Right? Man, when you look at this whole thing, okay, because you want to be promoted, because you feel like when you get that promotion, everyone is going to fall. Thank you so much, family. Thank you so much, Tracy Makino. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the support. So because when I sit down and I think about these things, you want to give somebody a political appointment, and because you want to give them a so-called political appointment, you expect them to go. Do you know how many people you are betraying? Families, do you know that when I hear that Nigerians are being arrested in Libya, Nigerians are being repatriated from different countries all around the world, do you know I don't blame those ones that are being repatriated? I blame the people that are supporting some type of individuals that are stealing money from this country. No. Don't get it twisted. It is not those guys that are out there that are, performing this heinous crime that they are catching. They are not the real culprits. The real culprits are those that are stealing trillions, that are stealing billions. Those are the people that need a regime change, not somebody that is doing. Look, let me just tell you something very, very simple about these leaders in the Sahel right now. I don't know where Randrina stands, but for the Malagasy people, he's doing a very fantastic job. Now, what I want to say is this. These presidents in the Sahel, they are no longer just ordinary presidents. They are now spiritual symbols. So for anybody to think in their mind that you are going to come and launch a regime change operation, a lot of people don't understand. I just want to use this opportunity to send a message to the detractors that normally come in whenever we have any of our videos that come into the the Android community. You want to come and watch. Let me just say this very, very clearly. I'll post another video this evening. Vladimir Putin said that with Ukraine, they are being very careful. They are picking target carefully, right? And I hope you're also aware that Russian operators are on the ground, right, in the Sahel, right? Now, Vladimir Putin said, with the war in Ukraine, they are acting out of brotherly, relationship. That's what they call it, a special military operation. But he said with some certain people, everything can go from a very quickly to a point where there will be no one to negotiate with again. So when some people might actually think that they are trying to launch a regime change operation, I can guarantee you that this escalation can go very quickly from point A to point Z. I'm telling you. So it will now go down to how patriotic are you to your country? What are you fighting for? That is a bill. Look, for every conflict and contest, the first question anybody should ask for themselves is, am I really like that? Am I really ready to put everything on the line? That's the biggest question everybody should ask themselves. Are you really like that within? And for you to really, really be like that, the cause you are fighting for needs to be so great to the point that, look, a lot of people think they are ready, but they're not ready. They're not really, really prepared. Because what they are fighting for, they don't even know it. There is a difference between somebody that is fighting based on orders and somebody that is fighting because of their belief. You can't break down a people that have decided that they want to be free at all costs. When I hear the amount of time, right, that the Sahelian citizens talk about revolution, I know that truly, truly, they know what they are talking about. They are fully aware of what is going on. During the operation in the Diori Amani International Air Base, are you aware that the Nigerians came out that night? You know that in Burkina Faso also, the civilians came out that night. A lot of people are not prepared for what is about to take place. They are talking about regime change as if regime change is regime change. That very day, 30 civilians were attacked in Niger. And these people still stood their ground. It is because they know that where they were coming from, they can't go back there again because the situation was terrible. It was catastrophic. You want to launch a regime change because you think you have the right to just go anywhere and launch any operation like that. Look, we live in different time. We live in a different period, a different era, a different time. And that is why I say no matter what anybody is going, like I said, when you look at what happened in the Diori Amani International Air Base, right? When you look at what happened in that international airport, you don't shoot air defenses. Like, there are different layers of air defense system, right? There are some that you can use to neutralize UAVs, you can use to neutralize drones, right? Thank you so much, my brother. There are some, see, when you start seeing air defense missiles, right, that are going one by one, they are not going fast, like boom. And after some time, you hear boom. That means there was an air backup for those terrorists that were sent in. There was an air backup. Probably the air component turned back and ran off. Probably. Now we are getting a report from Niger. This, go to Alpha 1 Kaziba, right? I'm going to be quoting the sources now. Go to Alpha 1 Kaziba or go to AEX du Sahel. That's a group on Telegram, right? You can get credible information right from there on what is going on the front line, okay? Some terrorists were seen in neighboring communities within Niamey, right? That have been hit during the kinetic exchange. They escaped, okay? Now, this only, look, what we do on these communities is an open book. We don't have time for propaganda. So whatever thing they want to do, they can do. But the facts is out there. The record, the proof is out there, okay? Now they saw it because according to report on that day, that some of them, they fled the scene with multiple wounds, okay? Now, we discovered that he was on the ground and there was, all over the place. They said he took the injury from the exchange, right? Go and visit Alpha 1 Kaziba. Alpha 1 Kaziba. He's on Facebook, and from Facebook, you can connect to his Telegram channel. You can ask for the link on my Telegram channel. I will give you all this link. You can go there and check verified information. Alpha 1 Kaziba. These are sources on the ground, okay? So, he was there. They left him and, everybody really, really ran for their life. When General Abdurrahman Chiani said they were scared to even escape, that means he was really, really honest because the situation was, very, very quickly, the situation became extremely diabolical. They will deceive you until you get to that unforgiving line of contact because right there, every seconds can make it. Every seconds is all the difference that needs to be made. Now, another one was caught by locals. Ladies and gentlemen, the pummeling was beyond be careful. If the Nigerian forces did not intervene very quickly, oh my God, the negotiation, the bilateral talk between the 72 virgin and that individual, man, it was almost, they almost made a deal. According to Donald Trump, they almost made a deal, right? Because the whooping from the civilian, oh my goodness, it was terrible. But the Nigerian troop, they came in and they rescued him. You will find this information on Alpha 1 Kaziba. So now, a lot of people said, why did they rescue him and all of that? They need to rescue him. No amount of intel is enough. Let me check the second source for you. Let me check the second source. If you want to get credible live video, now you might not be able to copy the video. You might not be able to save the video, but yes, let me let me check this particular device right here if I have that source right here. Message me on, no, I'm going to paste it in the comment section as soon as this video upload. I'm going to paste those two sources. You see those two sources, right? They drop every day credible on the ground information when it comes to the kinetic aspect of what is going on in the Alliance of Sahel. There are different type of news outlets when it comes to the Alliance of Sahel states. Now, these two channels I'm giving you, Alpha 1 Kaziba, right, is a local source. But you see that AES du Front on Telegram, that platform is verified by of like foreign sources. Sputnik Africa is one of them. And there's another channel. There's another channel that verified the channel. So they have these channels on the ground. So for Sputnik Africa to verify that channel, probably, the Russian operatives might have, had some sort of relation with this person. Maybe they know that this individual follows the troops to the front line to get first-hand information, because these are videos that come directly from the line of contact. So yes, let's proceed, Fabi. Let's proceed. So the last information they found during the preliminary investigation said massive sale of military capabilities, which the former president, I'm talking about the arrested individual, they said he deemed the amassing of those capabilities unreasonable and unnecessary based on national priorities. According to the explanation they gave, they said, based on the report he gave in one of his phone conversations, that why are they amassing so much military equipment? That what they are supposed to be talking about is infrastructural development. The question is, are we not seeing infrastructural development at a rate that is very, very uncommon in Africa, not just West Africa? We can mention number of countries in Africa that is currently experiencing this level of development. Before you mention 5, you should have called the Alliance of Sahel States. Before you mention 5, put them right there. It's respectable enough for you to put them right there. So we don't understand what he meant when he said that, amassing. I would drop their links, their Telegram links, or possibly I would drop I will post the name of the platform. I will post it on my Telegram so that you see it for those that are on our Telegram channel. And I will also drop their names on the comment section after this live stream has ended. I will drop the name so that you can go there and, follow information. Regardless, we still, we have multiple sources, but I'm telling you, these are the most, like, they are the cream of the crop. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't understand what it means by selling the military capability. So look at Mali now, right? Mali just bought, we were the first. I will take that credit right now. We were the first. When you talk about unofficial sources, right, that dropped with receipt. I'm not talking about evidence. I'm talking about the receipt of purchase of the 6 Bayraktar Akinci drone that the Malians ordered for. Right? Now, the first batch of those deliveries have arrived. And guess what the Malians did? They sent one of that military drone. They sent it to Mopti. You see that Mopti? In fact, that is what they need in Mopti. That barrack, in fact, if they can get 2, they need it in Mopti. Mopti is the most kinetic region in Mali. Yes, Mopti in Mali. I'm very, very correct about that. Right? So it is part of this extensive operation yesterday around the, Akbar region of Menaka. Very close, right, to this region called Andara Bukane. That was where they, eliminated and neutralized this guy called Abu Al-Gabazich Mali. That was where they neutralized him yesterday. Al-Gabazich Mali. This individual, right, if you hear his story, you are talking about a human behemoth. Al-Gabazich Mali and his cocoons, they don't just work anyhow. They have a deep-rooted religious radical belief. These people are not just motivated to perform their operation based on the fact that they are being paid. They now have a religious sentiment to it. He has been neutralized yesterday. Now, I want to drop one very, very incredible update right now. Go and notice that you will notice that most of the videos that are being dropped about the jihadists that have been neutralized in the Sahel, you will notice that once they are being neutralized, The videos have been posted either by, the camera, that have been incorporated on some of the UAVs. Now, let me tell you this. Once they get neutralized sometimes, there is always a standby drone that records the whole operation. It's out there. They record everything that happens, right? But now what I'm saying is this. Not only that, they send in ground forces, right, to go and identify what is what. Most of the time, the jihadists, after getting hit with multiple strikes, they normally call for backup. So sometimes there is always a kinetic exchange between the ground forces that have been sent in for rapid response against some of these jihadists. Thank you so much, family. So now, according to the information, it was during the careful identification of what was hit during that airstrike operation that they discovered that Abu al-Ghabazich Mali has been neutralized. Now, the elimination of Abu al-Ghabazich Mali is going to send a mental breakdown into the EIGS. Remember, the Malians farmer, they put so much pressure on these guys that Boubacar Oubel surrendered, right? Abu al-Ghabazich Mali was, promoted after Boubacar Oubel surrendered to the Malian military. Now that they've, handed, they've negotiated, they helped him fast track the bilateral talks, right? Which is, so now what I believe, based on the explanation that have been given by intelligence sources about the operations of al-Ghabazich and how he performs his recruitment, is that they will probably bring up another person that is probably going to bear his name. Do you understand? In Boko Haram, the fact that Shekau has been neutralized by ISWAP, the al-Banawi sect, does not mean that there is another person inside Boko Haram now that is not currently bearing that Shekau. So what they do is, when there is a big person they look up to that gets knocked down, right, they now try to immortalize that name, right? So that name now becomes iconic. So when they recruit people, they will try to mentally inform them that you have to be so savage that you have to work your way up. You have to work your way up the ladder with so much ferocity so that you can carry this title. So now that name, Abu al-Ghabazich Mali, will now become a title. So get it. They will pick another person. Now, that's what I'm saying. When you neutralize any jihadists, is the equivalent of neutralizing the biggest one. I want people to understand this. Every jihadist, every airstrike is the most important airstrike, because when they get hit, you've just saved some civilians. That's what you have to understand. Because when you neutralize because according to the, Rudi Atala, when America sent their delegation, they said that, we will help you eliminate the jihadist leader. What you will do instantaneously is to martyr them. I don't know if a lot of people have heard that kind of thing among, them before. They will say, oh, he has been martyred. So they will immortalize that name, and they will now pick in new recruits that have shown enough ferocity on the line of contact that, come, you have to now intensify what you are doing so that you can earn the right to hit this title. So they have a lot of things that motivate them. So the only language they understand is a continuous breakdown and crackdown from the military that must, you must have a formidable mindset. Now, we must not take away the fact that these people cannot operate with so much impunity without a foreign support when it comes to financial capability. They are heavily funded, because let's call a spade a spade. If they are not being funded, they won't last a week. Based on the capability that the Malians have invested in, or Burkina Faso, they wouldn't have spent a week. So that also reinforced that claim that these people have been financed by foreign states that want to achieve certain interests. We've been saying this for a long time. Covertly, we've been saying it like a joke. We've been saying it that the reason why certain people are in such a diabolic economic situation is because they no longer have their influence in this particular geopolitical, location in Africa. And they will tell you, oh, we're fighting for our influence. We are doing this, we are doing that. Asimi Goita said, they said we are a miserable state. Financially. He said, but when we separated from them, they quickly find out who was really, really miserable. They quickly found out who was really, really like, what they always say. There are some things I cannot say on this live platform because it will look like, so I'm not going to say them. Because I'm like a bag of information when it comes to what I've heard, what I've seen, the people I've communicated with based on what is going on. So there are some informations that, I just used to personally retrieve sometimes. So ladies and gentlemen, let's move forward. Now, according to further information that we heard from, wait, let me search for the information, right? Let me search for this information. There's another one that I got that, okay, that Abidjan has now summoned the Burkinabe, what did they call that name? Who's this? That Abidjan has now summoned the Nigerian ambassador to Ivory Coast and all of that. Ladies and gentlemen, don't let me lie to you. According to the information we had, right? From sources on the ground, they said the reason why this whole summon and everything was made was to kind of create a corridor through which negotiation can be reached for Damiba. So, based on my belief right now, I feel like Damiba is somewhere in that cell, believing that I just have to hold on for another seconds, break through my calm anytime soon. And to be honest with you, I don't want the narrative to change. I don't know if anybody is communicating. I don't want the narrative of Damiba to change from being a coup plotter that was attempting the complete neutralization of the entire Burkinabe leadership, regardless if it was working for certain, that is their business, to changing the narrative to Damiba is a political, what do they call that language? That is a political, there is a name they give to it when people are being put behind bars. They used to call them people that regimes put behind bars because of their political before they change it to political prisoner. Damiba is not a political prisoner. The reason Damiba was the reason for his repatriation has no link to any political agenda, because right now you will start hearing, oh, Damiba was a political prisoner. Damiba is not a political prisoner. Damiba was extradited for serious charges, which he has to. Now, my worry is, why are they delaying? Look, Damiba's judicial hearing needs to be the fastest on the planet. Because I am telling you, gradually you might, whatever the Russian intelligence gave, right, they might stand on that pretext and be like, oh, Damiba is a political prisoner, we are now calling for his release and all of that. So whatever judicial hearing they want to do on Damiba's case should happen at God's speed. What are they waiting for? That's my biggest question right now. What are you waiting for? Who are you waiting for? Because very soon you will see that they will start calling him a political prisoner. Let us quickly establish what time it is. Whatever Damiba has in his stomach, I believe that he must have poured it out right now. He must have, he would have, in fact, even the livestock that are involved, he would have mentioned their name. The particular breed. Is he a Malinois? He would have. So I don't understand, because I'm telling you, very quickly, they will call him a political prisoner. He's not a political prisoner, let's be clear. Because some of these things is still revolving around Damiba. And families, don't you even think still having Damiba, like, I don't understand this old Damiba's case, right? I'm even thinking that having him behind the territorial space, right, having him within, and for one reason or whatever reason, he has not been prosecuted already within the confines of the provision of the law, right, of Burkina Faso. I don't know. This is not me, right? Damiba never established a political party within Burkina Faso. But this is not the argument they're going to make. They're going to say he's a political prisoner. I'm telling you. What did the Ivorians say? The Ivorian journalists, what did they say? Right? Because at the end of the day, we might try to say, okay, a certain regime and all of that. They said, and I quote, that the way Traore came to power, hosting Damiba, is the same way Damiba wanted to come back to power. That was their argument. So, if you have, even if it's against the will of the people on the return of Damiba, right? That is the claim they are trying to make. And when you are dealing with people that have decided to be deliberately manipulative, I'm telling you, any narrative is possible. You have to understand when I mean people that are deliberately manipulative. Some people are strategic with their manipulation. Thank you very much. Most watch than terrorism is not a political prisoner. But what I'm still telling you right now, that this particular, narrative that you just put right here, right? They, like I said, these people are deliberately, right? Being deliberately criminal minded is not you seeing the truth and standing with the truth. He's saying the truth and telling them that, no, that's not the truth. That is not the truth. They are telling you that these people that are telling you to shift back to democracy, right? That they are coming to dominate your resources, and they tell you, yeah, we need democracy too. Did you not hear one of the video I posted when one of the guys that spoke to the correspondent said that, and we've had enough of the military. It's time they leave. Is that person not among us? So these are critical things that we need to put into consideration. Like I said, I don't understand why Damiba is still within. See, the fact that Damiba is sitting in some hole without being prosecuted is going to make some people have that shred of hope that something can happen. That something can happen. What do you think Damiba is thinking within his mind? The fact that he has not been prosecuted and a final verdict have not been pronounced, the narrative can still be shifted. It is in the court of law, right? They have not tried anyone related to him. They have not. So you think if there is a shred of opportunity for these people to escape, you think that they won't be ready to go to the kitchen sink? Is that what you think? So for me, like I said, I still wonder why he has not been prosecuted. I think Burkina Faso is taking their time. Well, that can actually be a very, very good point. But my question is still, why are you waiting? If the people that sponsored and backed him know now, right, that you want to wait and hang around for too long. Look, having Damiba behind bars or whatever, it's like, I'm telling you, you have a mighty, I don't know if you understand the level of espionage, human espionage as a whole that you have behind your territory. The presence alone is destabilizing. I hope you understand. The presence alone without being judged for much longer. Do you know what it means? I'm not the only one asking for what I'm asking for right now, that he should be prosecuted very, very quickly. A lot more other people within Burkina Faso are asking for this prosecution. Because it's like, let me explain the situation to you, right? It's like having somebody very dear to you, so that you know that he's equally dear to the people that are trying to destabilize the Sahel. It's like having them behind enemy lines. Every time you have this guarantee that they are still breathing, it wakens this belief within you that there is a chance that if we go all out, we can actually retrieve this individual. And the case of Damiba is very different, because retrieving Damiba will not only be a big victory for the enemy, it will equally, right, save a lot of possibly names that have not been mentioned. Because let me tell you something, for certain men, there are certain secrets they don't reveal in their lifetime. They take it down to their resting place. So even if the amoeba mentioned all the name on the planet, I still believe that there are some players he will probably take with him to wherever he's going to, that I will probably not mention. So this is how I feel. If there is no reason, look, if there is no reason for you to keep him just waiting right there, there's no reason. There is absolutely no reason. Or maybe the reason why the whole thing is still dragging on, maybe there are still some sort of bargain for him to concede some certain names. Probably that's a big reason too. Maybe they are telling him, if you give, we can be lenient and all of that, but come on. But for whatever reason, having Damiba within, right, hoping that maybe he will change, he will have a change of heart. A man that personally declared that he can never, according to Damiba, he said he can never live without power. I don't know if you understand what that statement means. When somebody sits and they tell you, I cannot live without power. Now, if you have anyone that can make such statements, if you have them making such statements, right, before power, it's a different scenario. But they've tasted power and they are making a declaration that they cannot breathe without power. You can't have such, that's a national security threat in one single man. It cannot change. Don't have it at the back of your mind for a second that some individual can change. Matter of fact, I have been able to establish that no puppets can change. It's in them. Look, no puppet can ever change. It's a natural trait. Oh, you think every puppet does not really realize or understand the value of sovereignty? You think they don't understand that, okay, I need to take care of my people? It's a personal conscious decision that these people must continue to suffer. And you know, the most embarrassing part of this is, I remember when a certain man came out on public TV in Nigeria. Most Nigerians can testify to this. I think he came out on the Arise TV to argue for President Tinubu. He argued vehemently. He said he's a great president. He has done this, he has done that, he has done that. Look, the biggest neutralizer in this life is time. And after 6 months, he came back to the same, platform, a mainstream media platform in Nigeria for that matter, but not government controlled. He came out, you will notice that from, when he made the first argument, and after 6 months, anatomically, what we were seeing has no correlate. It does not correlate with what we've seen before. Anatomically, the muscles here were no longer the way they were. You can actually see the real bones around the Miduna Sakonka here. When Nigerians tell you Sakpa, enough suffering has penetrated the nooks and crannies of the body. He said, oh, this is a useless regime. This is one of the worst regime ever. Right? Now, what I will say is this. You supported the same regime when they came to power. You argued on behalf of that regime. But probably when he did not get any benefits or personal treatment, now he thinks he can now change the narrative. See, what those people believe in their mind is that they are some sort of sophisticated tool, that without them, they can be a sort of pain in the body. With them, they see themselves as tools, not as citizens. So they will continue to serve the people that continue to give them some type of financial, Now it begs the real question. There was a time in our history, France invested a lot in Africa. Are you serious? You can clarify that statement. I want to understand the context. Okay. So now, like I want to understand that context. I'm really, really serious about understanding that context. I really, really need to understand that context. So, like I said, right, there are individuals that will never ever change, and Damiba is one of them. So at this point, I will say this. There is a high probability. No, I will want to understand that individual's context. Right? I am very, very quick to knock out people from this platform. I want to understand that context of France invested in Africa. Because I can really, look, I am one individual that can feel the pain of everybody that is like me. So I have seen the struggles of the people in the Sahel. I'm fully aware of it. I'm very, very aware. This is not, look, we are beyond disinformation at this point. So I want to understand your context. Come on, man. This will be me staying too long. You're out of the platform forever. I did not have I'm sorry if you wanted to change the context, but I did not have the time. I did not have the time. I'm sorry. You have to go to another platform. We look. I am not a Sahel citizen. I'm not a Sahel citizen, but I'm a Nigerian. But every time you see me come on either the live or I make videos, right? I make this video out of serious pain from my heart. Only those that understand. You cannot make some certain statements. They call it free speech or whatever. Not on a Pan-African. Look, this is a Pan-African platform. It's not a content creation platform. It's not a platform that change narrative. We are very, very, very. See, we are very, very. In fact, I don't know what I would say, but when it comes to the truth, we don't tolerate. We don't take no step back. Like I said, we're not begging people to jump in. We're not trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. If we get to any type of subscriber, I only want people that understand the struggle. That is I get your I get your comments that a lot of people need me to be in Burkina Faso. I believe that I have a lot to offer Burkina Faso. Personally, I have a lot to offer Burkina Faso when it comes to my natural abilities. I'm somebody that's I do well with agriculture. I do very, very well with agriculture, livestock agriculture. I am a medical professional. Apart from that, I have a lot of, should I say, investments that I want to go to that deals with production. Anywhere I'm going to, I am establishing a lot of capabilities for so many reasons. I'm the type of person that desire to create employment and make people's living condition very, very comfortable. I don't need to know you or have any sort of affiliation with you before I help you. So wherever I'm going to, in my own capacity, as small as it is, I am going to be having a complete impact in wherever I go to. Thank you so much, brother. So the only reason, thank you so much. Thank you so much that you want to contribute to Burkina Faso. Look, we are contributing to Burkina Faso in every way, right? For Trinidad and Tobago families. The only guarantee I have is that anywhere I go to, I 100% believe I'm going to have serious impact. Not on not on any old, young, middle age, any type. If I have the opportunity to talk to the kids in school, is an opportunity to liberate the mind of those kids. One of the most important aspects is to invest. Look, you have to invest heavily in the people. There is no two ways to it. Stealing has no place around any normal human being. Because if they were stealing in those countries you are running to, you won't be able to, there will be nothing for you to run to. But I don't understand. I don't understand if, I don't understand. If some people are naturally configured to behave like this. Do you understand? We need to be proud. I don't know if a lot of people can get it. Forget the conversation of racism. You need to be proud. A lot of people don't understand who they are. We need a sort of we need a lot of continuous re-education of the mind. I'm not interested in that conversation of decolonization. I wasn't colonized. I wasn't born in that time. But I'm telling you, we need a re-education. We need to invest in research. And look, every society is born. Every society is given some sort of human capability that are supernatural. There are some kids that are born once in many centuries, right? There are some, they will change the course of history. They just have to be given the necessary capability for their full potential to be explored. You think if Africa has been given the technology or the knowledge to build some sort of, state of art capabilities, I'm talking about military capability, you think that we wouldn't have done the unthinkable? Go and think again. Human brain, human body is the same. The only reason why a certain student is better than another student is because there is something that one of them know that the other have not seen. If they have equal access to information, they will produce equal results. Or even the person that had the information late can even come with a better, capability at the end of the day. And I want to say this again, categorically, no human being, no single human being in the continent of Africa is useless. Everybody has a role to play. Everybody has a role to play. I was a child that I was seriously, there were some things about my life that really, really taught me a lot of things. I see the way some parents behave around their kids, right? I'm talking about one kid is sharp in school, always coming on top in class, right? And there is another child that is not as sharp academically. And in your mind, you believe the child that is not giving you the biggest result in school does not have an enormous reserve of capability. You just don't know it as the parent. You've not searched deep down into that kid to explore the maximum capability of that child. Every child has potential. When I see children and I go out of my, I continue to look at, people think they will be like, he loves children a lot. No, 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 no. I love everybody. When I see people, I see potentials. No matter your class in the society, I see people, I see potential. Look, that is why it hurts me when I see men that sit on the ground and beg for hands. Because I'm looking at you and I'm seeing capabilities that, if given the necessary opportunities, you can do the unthinkable, and you will be surprised at how much value you have and how much you can give to the society. You can make a life-changing impact. I don't believe, you cannot convince me in this lifetime of my lifetime that there is somebody somewhere that does not have any value. It's not possible. Don't tell me that anymore. The person that cannot speak, that cannot listen, I am telling you, they have an enough. Look, the fact that their hands and legs are still working, they can do a lot. So tell me, why should any reasonable society even be complaining about unemployment when the people can give you so much? It is because some people, they are naturally created with satanic agenda. I know at the end of the day, informations like this, they will say it's against the community guideline. Oh, fine. But I'll continue to speak what I speak. But up until then, guys, I'll see you on the next video. What really brought me to this place this morning is to make sure I release those critical intel to the people that everybody should brace up. Everybody should get prepared. Don't let anybody, right? Okay, True Mamle, she said, True Mamle said, you should drop all your comments for me so that when I bring her on the platform, I can ask her and she can give you answers. Whatever 32 years I'm discovering my capabilities are only needed as a child with support. It's talking about me here. Man, I'm 32 years old and I'm discovering my capabilities. I only needed as a child with support, guidance in the right direction. Depression is the killer. Don't let anybody depress you. I'm telling you the truth. Don't let any human being. I can proudly tell you something. In every institution I've ever been, I'm one of the best products. One of the best. And yet, Andre is a very unserious individual. Very, very unserious. I don't take all this, what people go to school to learn, I don't take it seriously. Because I catch information once and I'm off. I don't really take it, it's not a big deal for me, because the question that continues to reverberate in my mind and resonate too much is, so this knowledge you are getting, because I've been able, when I get information, my mind goes beyond the information and I ask myself, what can I produce with this information that has been given to me? How can I change the status quo of things with this information? So I was able to realize very quickly that our education system in Africa is made to make us servants. Go and find out. You come out from school, the next thing you are thinking about is how to be employed. So we need to go back to our fundamentals and recalibrate. Kids should be told before they enter school that you are coming out as one of the greatest assets the country has ever seen. You are coming to turn the life of this nation around. These things are not being, this type of information are not being encouraged. I know that what I am saying right now is against every single order out there. People have to be aware of these things. I am not encouraging you. I know this as a fact, that this is the right, look, this is the truth. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. You have so much capability within you. In anything you love to do, I 100% believe it. I have seen it. So, families, like I said again, why I personally came to the platform this morning for this live stream is to notify the people about this information that have just been released via the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service. Right now, I'm going to go, but I want you to play your part and make sure you either take this information to whoever verbally, you share the video, make sure this information gets to wherever you can take it to. Thank you and God bless you. Much salutes and much respect to you all. I want to thank you for your support, because without you all, this critical information is not going to, somebody had to talk about the General Michael Langley situation for me to get involved in this capacity. So please, whatever information that is very, very critical and very important, we don't know what information could be the alpha information that is going to change the calculus of things. So please, I think I've played my part. Now I have peace. Please, everyone in the Andre community, please, let's play our own part too. Thank you and God bless you.